Tap for sound. Hello. All right. This is Cass and Joe, and we are excited to have you guys on today. I just wanted to start with a couple of housekeeping items, just so you guys know today is being recorded. So just be mindful of that if you have certain questions. Throughout, we're going to try to keep this under an hour. Um, but if you have any questions, and we're still kind of going through our agenda, what you can do is you can post your questions on the sidebar, and we can answer those as we go through, or you can hold your questions to the end. So you can either ask them via, typing them in on the side, or you can, again, you can wait to the end and ask questions. All right. So we're going to get right in. I'm going to dive right in. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is just communication. I know that you guys are out on the road quite a bit, and you may not even have seen everyone on your team yet. There's going to be about 7 people as of like next week, and if you haven't met all 7, I would encourage you to put your picture on your profile in Sling. And there's an on-the-road communication that's just not to communicate business concerns, but you can also just connect with one another. Post pictures, show what you are. I know one of you is out with your pet from time to time, so post pictures of that. Just get to know each other. You can do that through Sling. It's kind of like a social media, right? So you can post on the road communications, not just things that are going on, not just concerns, but you can post and stay, in touch with your team. Also, we are going to be rolling out something called Assembly. You might have been invited. It's called joinassembly.com. So you'll be getting an invite for that. And what that is a way to incentivize you. There's things on there like those headsets. What are those headsets called? Those
the trucker headsets.
Yeah, there's the really fancy ones.
The wireless ones.
Yeah, the wireless headsets are on there. There's tickets to football game like the Ravens. There's all kinds of just things on there. Hotel room stays that you all can save up points and get. And the way that you get points is just by doing some of the things that we talk about you'll hear about today. And most of those points will come from Ina, your dispatcher, just for great communication. And like I said, some of the things that we'll mention on today. So I'll pass it on to Joe.
All right. Are we going to do introductions or?
Yeah, since everybody's not on, so I didn't introduce us, but you also will see Kenyana and Dave on as well. Dave, I don't know if you want to bring us all on right now or if you want to wait.
We are here.
All right. So who we have on our call today is, again, Cass and Joe. We are the founders of Spencer White. And we have Dave, who's our director of operations. And we have Kenyana Davis. She is our new director of people operations. So anything related to, when you think of HR, when you think of anything related to people and your day-to-day, that would be Kenyana. Anything that has to do with like the operations of our business, BOLs, making sure we get paid, and making sure that we're in touch with the dispatchers, that would be Dave. So just wanted to make sure that you have an entire team that's here to support you.
All right, perfect. So I'll go into it. So I am Joko. Good to meet you guys. I know, it's about 7 of us, right? As far as drivers, right? 7 drivers. So it's Paul, it's Julia, it's Charles, it's Curtis, and it's Joe, right? Javon. So, and we will have two more that's in the pipeline right now, but we want to make sure they're on board first before we make any names. So we would just say they're pending right now. So a couple of things that I'm going to touch on is Ina is also part of our team. I know you guys have spoken to her. So regarding Ina, she's our dispatcher. She is our in-house dispatcher, right? She makes sure that, we have money coming in, we get paid. Not necessarily get paid, but she makes sure that we have loads to get paid, right? So she's a part of this team. She's not an outsider. So she's feeding us loads. So we have to be conscious of communicating with her. The biggest thing is so we have 4 pillars of the company, right? Embracing change, communication, teamwork, and respect, right? Because nobody wants to be in a job that they don't feel respected, right? So, at any given moment, you can always reach out to us. But regarding Ina, we got to make sure we're communicating with her. That's the main thing. So if she's reaching out to you, she shouldn't be trying to, you know, text you and call you over and over to find out your updates, right? So we got to be proactive in that. So in saying that, if you are late, you know, Dave will talk on this regarding the motive ELD. But if you're running late, you got to do your part and say you're running late, whether it's traffic, whether something whatever the reason is, you got to say something. Don't wait for us or Ina to get in contact with you, or Dave to get in contact with you to ask you what happened, right? Because you know this is a team effort, right? So you know, if you miss your shot, right, on the court, you gotta say it's you. So I use that analogy to say that don't let us chase you down to figure out what's going on, because at the end of the day, you're getting that check every Wednesday. You're not chasing us down for no money, right? So we understand the importance of making sure, you know, you get paid for the fruits of your labor. And if something happens, you know, we're communicating with you. So the biggest thing that we harp on is communication, right? So that is something that, you know, it's big. I'm hearing that Ina is reaching out to people and they're not communicating. It's making her job harder. We don't want to make anybody's jobs harder. So if you're working with somebody, your mindset should be, is what can I do? Anytime you work with me, I make your job easier, right? I'm turning in the BOLs on time, things like that. So Dave will talk about the motive, but on that side, the technical part of it. But we're going to start there's going to be some transparency and visibility, right? With this, we have to know if you're on time, because Ina has these relationships with these shippers. If we're not on, this is a logistics business, right? If you're off, you're not on time, then it kills our relationship, right? And they won't deal with us as a carrier because they know this person's always always late, let alone not communicating. It's one thing to be late, and it's one thing not to communicate, right? So and Ina is that bridge. So you have to, we can't kill those relationships. So I say that to say, ELD, we're going to have to start accepting, and Dave will talk on this, but you're going to have to start having to accept the loads on motive. Again, Dave will speak on this, but the biggest thing is for visibility and transparency. Another thing is regarding payroll, you want to talk to not Dave, right? Dave is not the department for payroll. Kenyana, you'll talk to her. She's HR, but she's not the department for payroll. We have a payroll department. You go directly to them. You can sling them. Everybody has talked to them. There's only 7 of us here as far as drivers, right? But we're here to support you guys. But payroll is Q. At payroll and sling. At payroll. And you see, we don't have to do this. But what we do is Q is so good at communicating. Every week, he's texting you, letting you know, hey, this is your pay, please confirm. So you can go on ADP and look. He doesn't have to do that, but he takes the extra step to communicate with you guys because we're big on communication. We're not going to practice something we don't preach. So the biggest thing is, I want to highlight is the team is doing great. I've noticed, and I'm sure you guys have noticed as well, these trucks do not break down if they're moving, right? The trucks have to keep moving. They have to stay on the road. So if you commit to a tier, which Dave will speak on, you commit to 5 days, you commit to 6 days, you commit to 2 weeks, regardless of what happens, life happens to everybody, right? But we have a commitment, just like we have a commitment to these shippers. We have a commitment to, the BOLs, things like that. And we have a commitment to you guys to make sure you guys get paid. There's a commitment that we expect from you as well. That's why we set up options. We don't do the cents per mile model where, all that, kind of funny stuff goes on, right? We don't do that. We're very, very straightforward. We try to keep this as simple as possible. So, I think that kind of separates us and kind of gives us a stamp in the business to let us know, like, hey, this is how we move as a team. But the biggest thing is when it comes to, with communicating on that side, if I commit to tier 1 5 days, I commit to 6 days, I commit to 2 weeks, you actually commit to that. Nobody should be committing and saying, I'm coming home early. If I do 5 days and I need to come home 3 days, or I do 6 days, I need to come home 2 days, or I put 2 weeks and I need to come in 1 week. Again, we give you the option, but we expect for you to stick to that option, and it throws everything off. Just keep that in mind. So that's the last part. But the biggest thing is, making sure we stick to that. Because if not, then this doesn't work, and then we have to make adjustments, right? And we're going to protect the business at all costs. So again, emergencies happens, that we understand that. Just go through the proper channels, let Dave know, communicate ahead of time. But if you commit to something and you got to come home, finish that tier out. Finish the tier out. If you commit 5 days, finish it out. 6, 2 weeks, whatever. And then if you need to take a week off, you need to take a day off, whatever. But don't commit if you cannot commit. If you cannot follow through, don't commit. That's the biggest thing, right? And communicating with Ina and communicating with Dave if you have to, but go through the proper channels, right? But we appreciate you guys, we don't take this for granted. There's a lot of companies out there, but what we try to do is the biggest thing. We try to separate ourselves from everyone else is by being proactive, communicating with you guys, letting you guys know what's going on from the beginning, and there's no funny business going on, right? All right, so we appreciate you guys, and definitely always be safe out there.
All right, so real quick, before I go, everyone that's in the chat, can you comment if you can hear? I've gotten a couple messages that people cannot hear us, so I just want to just check real quick. Dennis, I see you said it was good. If everyone could just put a thumbs up in the chat, just so I can make sure. I'm getting the text messages. So, all right, I got one so far. Okay, so, all right, cool. All right, so, all right, maybe the person got to refresh. All right, one sec. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and keep going. So, to what Joe was talking about, for anyone that doesn't know who I am, I'm Dave. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows me, but just in case you don't, I am Dave. To Joe's point, communicating with Ina is everything. As Joe said, she has those relationships with the brokers and the shippers. So it's really important that if you're going to be late, we know. But then also when truck breaks down, there's a lapse in communication. When trucks break down, we're not communicating that to Ina. So just kind of adding on to what Joe said, just make sure all around, we're up in communication, especially with Ina. So I'll run through this, my list. So first things first, everyone knows we have a tier structure. So we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. They are interchangeable, but you have to finalize whatever you committed to for that week. And every week you can change it. So just a recap, for your first 30 days, everyone's at $250 per day. And then tier 1 unlocks. Tier 1 is $275 at 5 days out. After 60 days, tier 2 unlocks, which is $295 per day at 6 days out. And then after 90 days, tier 3 unlocks, which is $305 per day at 14 days out. So with those tiers, again, after 90 days, you can, switch as you go. But the premise of it is, like Joe said, once you commit, we commit. We do it this way, one, because it's easier to manage, just so we know how far you can go out distance-wise, mileage-wise, of course. And then also, it can help you plan a lot better as well. Like Joe said, we understand emergencies happen, but we are in the logistics business. So a lot of what we do comes from planning and being strategic in where we're sending someone, where they're coming back. And of course, the cost, right? So if someone's going to, for example, California, it needs to make sense financially all the way around for you as the driver, but then also for us as the company as well. It can't just be, one-sided either way, because it doesn't work. We like to say here, it has to be a win-win on both sides, a win for the employee and a win for the business. If it's a loss on either side, then it doesn't work, right? So just make sure, with those tiers, depending on where you are and within your 90-day probation, or if you're past 90-day probation, they are interchangeable, but you have to finalize whatever tier you're in. So next thing is motive. So like Joe said, we are, a new process that we're putting in place is everyone accepting the dispatch through motive. Ina will still send you guys the address and everything, but we're doing it through motive for multiple reasons. One, we got to track if everyone's being on time, right? Just so we're all on the same page. If someone is late, they do charge us late fees, right? So those late fees can vary. Some late fees are if you're an hour late, 2 hours late. Some are like 5 hours late, some are next day. So it all depends. So we need that We need that. One second. We need that that data to be able to either dispute it or to agree if a broker is charging us for a late fee. I am going to. I don't know if it's going to work. I am going to share my screen really quickly. I'm gonna bring Cass up just so I can. Cass, you can see my screen, right?
We can.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. So this is Motive. As everyone knows, this is the dispatch tab. Um, so this is not calling anybody out, so please don't look at it that way. But basically, Ina will create the route in here. It will give all this information. For those of you who have seen it, it gives you all this information so that way you know exactly where to go. We're still working on the GPS piece of it. I did hear from a couple of people that the GPS is coming up as a car GPS and not a truck. So I have reached out to Motive to find out why that is and if they can get that corrected. So yes, if you still have to use your other GPS for the time being, still do so. Of course, we don't want anyone hitting any low clearing bridges, anything of that nature. So just make sure, you're paying attention to that. But basically, Ina will come in, she'll pull all the information here for your load. And then all you have to do on your end, it looks a little bit different on your end, but all you have to do basically is hit start dispatch. Once you hit start dispatch, it'll show you all the information. So Curtis, just doing it for an example. So all the information that you would need essentially would be here. The pickup number, the address, the name of the location you're going, the appointment time. Sometimes, as you guys know, it's a hard appointment time. So in this example, it was 3 p.m. But there are times, there's a window. So Ina will put that if there is a window. If it's not, then that's the time you have to be there. Same thing with the drop off or the delivery. The same exact thing. Will be all information that you need will be here. But what this does is this allows us, like I said, Curtis, I'll just show you as another example. It shows us here, like where you are. It'll show the ETA of when you will get there. It'll show if you arrived on time, if you were late. So this is just another way, like I said, for us to not only, just be able to see you better or more clearly, but also to dispute anything if a broker says something out, something else. There are also situations, that I know that you guys have faced where you may not be able to find the building or the location, delivery or pickup. This way, our internal dispatch, which is like Dennis, Javier, Leon, that group or that crew, they can literally be able to just find it as well. So they can physically look at, so like if we were to go to Curtis, just for an example, we can physically see, okay, Curtis, I see this where you are, this where you got to go. We can zoom in. Oops, sorry, wrong way. We can zoom in. Why does it keep doing that? We can zoom in. We can see a satellite view. It's a million different ways, layers. You can see a street traffic. Basically, it's just there to better assist you, right? That's the cleanest way to kind of think of it. It's just there to better assist you if you need that extra support. And if Ina is not available, if it's late night or whatever, our dispatch team can still help. So I'll stop sharing because that's all for Motive. But it's very important, again, that you guys are accepting those loads so that way, it does track. We have that record, and then we can go from there. The next thing, BOLs. So a one-to-one, just set a reminder, the BOLs is that's our confirmation the load was delivered, AKA how we get paid as a company, right? So it's very important that you are all continuing to post a picture of the BOL in the BOL room. But then it's equally as important to make sure that the picture is clear, that you can see all four corners, because if not, then it gets rejected, and that's why they text you say, "Hey, send me another picture." We can alleviate all of that if it's just done correctly the first time. I know you guys are moving; it's a lot going on, but just please take that extra second to just take a very clear picture for me. It saves me the headache, saves you the headache of me calling you 11 o'clock at night asking for BOLs, and it just makes it a lot cleaner. Also, with the BOLs, I am purchasing everybody. Well, not I, the company. really is Cass. But no, I'm joking. But but I am purchasing the like a clipboard for everyone's BOLs. Another important part of having BOLs, I still need the physical copy. There are times, literally, I got an email today, as for an example. The broker will reach out. This one of these lows is from like January of this year. They need a better picture of the BOL. So basically, I need to scan it in and send it to them. So I'm getting a clipboard for everyone for inside your truck. So once you take a picture of the BOL, it should go straight in that clipboard. It's to protect it so it doesn't get wrinkled, crumbled. Please stop folding the BOLs. Don't crumble the BOLs. Just put them in the clipboard. Clean. Cass, you put that in the private chat. Put it in the comments up top. Please make sure you put the BOLs in there, nice, clean. And then what I'm going to do is when you all get back and you say, hey, I'm back, I've parked the truck, I'll have our dispatch team retrieve the BOLs and then bring them upstairs so that way we can I can store them for the 8 months that I have to hold on to them for. So it's very important when you guys get back, please put the clipboard in your passenger seat. That way the whoever dispatches on duty at the time, they can go retrieve them, put them on my desk, and then we're good to go. If you could also, in that BOL clipboard, put all your receipts, anything that you send to payroll. We just like to, it's just good to have a paper copy of it as well in case something goes wrong. Or if we need to verify something, all of that will be on the we'll have the physical copies of it. So just reiterate, I'll have the clipboards for you all. I'll order them today, so hopefully they'll be here by the end of this week. So starting next week, please put all your BOLs in there, or whenever you guys get back. I know some people are out for 2 weeks, but whenever you get back, make sure you get the clipboard. Please utilize it. And then when you get back to park your truck at the office, just leave it on the passenger seat. Please post in the communication room, hey, I'm back. Clipboard's on the passenger seat so our dispatch team can get it and bring it upstairs. Lastly, we are using JJ Keller for our CDL compliance, or basically our company compliance. So everyone will get a email today from me. It'll come from my Spencer White email. You will get it to your personal email. It will be a link from JJ Keller. It will ask you to create an account and fill out an application. It'll ask you to add a picture of your medical card, your driver's license. Just please do all of that. It's going to send you an email to take a drug test. You can ignore that email, please, because none of you have to do that. You already did it the first time. So just ignore the drug test email. I'll send another message out because I get a copy of it as well. So when I get that email, I'll just text you saying ignore that. But we are using this for our compliance as a company. So everyone does need to fill this out as soon as possible. I like to set a deadline of Friday, which is Cinco de Mayo. Let's go. So May 5th, this Friday is the deadline. So please, I'll send them out as soon as this is over. But as soon as you get the link, you get some downtime, please fill it out. It shouldn't take more than like 5-6 minutes. Paul, I got you, so don't worry about it. Everybody else, please make sure you fill it out. And then we'll go from there. But that's pretty much all I have. So Kenyana, I will pass it off to you.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I am HR, Director of People Operations. And I'm basically just here to provide support, any of the HR related stuff, any issues you have that I can help you with. I'm definitely here. I can be reached in Sling under my first name, Kenyana, at Kenyana, should I say, inside of Sling. I want to touch on a little bit on engagement. I want you to know that when you're out on the road, all of us are here to support you. So you have access to all of us. We want you to utilize Sling a little more. You guys have access to each other. I know we have a lot of newer drivers, so please feel free to kind of like get to know some of the other drivers, ask for pointers and tips inside of your Spencer Sling, and try to kind of connect to each other. Also, I want you to know that you're connected to us. Whenever you need support, we're here. we're going to be doing a company event. The date is coming up. We don't have the date exactly set, but we want to do that to kind of engage with you further and give you all opportunity outside of work to get together, get to know each other, get faces with names and so forth. So that information will be coming up soon. And then I want to touch a little bit on benefits. So we have a 401k program through ADP. You can participate through that inside of your ADP portal. But if you need any information or guidance on that, you can feel free to reach out to me directly inside of Sling. And I will make sure also I have my phone number and contact information updated and correct in there, so you all can reach me directly that way as well. As far as healthcare benefits, we need at least 3 people to participate. You know, we're really small on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a poll out to see who is interested in getting healthcare benefits through us. And then we'll be back in touch if we have enough participants with what that offer looks like. And you guys should look out for that shortly. I'll get a poll out as soon as possible. I also want to touch on, we had an employee survey that went out. We were just trying to kind of capture some information so we could better support you and better engage with you. We didn't get very much participation, so I'm going to reopen that and send that out again. And I'll send some reminders out, but that'll be open for the next 3 days or so. I'll open it today and we'll close it out probably on Friday. And I think that is all that I have for right now. I'm going to pass it on to Cass.
All right. So we're going to close out, but we wanted to answer any questions you could that you had. So I'm just going to open it up so I can't see you guys. So does anyone have any questions? So I do see, Julia's question was already answered, but I'll call it out. She said, I pay for Trucker Path because I prefer it. Can I keep using it? Yes, you can. If it is helpful for you, you're more than welcome to continue to use it. Any other questions, you can feel free to post in the chat. If you feel uncomfortable, you can wait till after the call to reach out. But we really want to give you guys the next, 4 to 5 minutes to ask any questions you have. And then Joe has one more addition for us today.
Sure. So while your questions come in, for when Kenyana was talking about engagement, I think we'll have Dave create a room for Spencer Driver Pointers and Tips. It'll be called Spencer Driver Pointers and Tips. This is a way where you guys can give pointers and tips to each other, right? About Paul is probably, I'm sure all of you guys, Julia, Charles, Curtis, Javon, all of you guys have a lot to share, not just Paul, right? Paul is a vet, of course, and he's definitely a resource and an asset, just like all of you guys. But I think that'll be a good room to kind of help each other out, right? Because sometimes you have questions, the next driver has the answer to it, right? So, use that room to engage. Great, so great tip, Kenyana. But we'll create that room for you so you have that platform to engage with each other and figure out ways to, get through the day, right? So another thing I want to highlight is the BOLs is very important. It's not just taking a picture and just like, hey, get this out the way. We are consistent in making sure you guys get paid on Wednesdays. So we know that we will not slip. And if we do, we catch ourselves and it gets corrected, right? It's not like you are reaching out to us and we are like dodging you, or you're having to call us 2 or 3 times, right? That's a lack of communication. It kills credibility. It kills trust, which we don't want to do, right? We rarely see you guys. So, we're working on getting this engagement going and hopefully having this like on a quarterly basis. But the biggest thing with the BOLs, you got to take clear pictures. That is our money. Let me say that again. You have to take clear pictures. These are not selfies, right? These are clear pictures that we have to submit to the factoring company so we can get paid and the shipper gets paid. There's a lot of people connected to the BOLs. And, Dave doesn't have to chase you like he said. So please take clear pictures. If it doesn't look clear, retake it. It does not hard. Dave's going to also put the clipboard in the truck so things not getting rained on, it's not getting stepped on. That is our money. right? Just like you guys get direct deposit, that is our money. That is our money. So we're going to have a cleaner process with these BOLs, clean pictures, clean processes, so everybody gets paid. ENA, the company, everybody associated with the company, the shippers, everybody. So that BOL is very important. It has to be very clear. All right. So that's the main thing I want to highlight. And like I said, the engagement, Dave will create that room. It calls Spencer Drivers, pointers and tips. You know, definitely help each other out, right? I think it'll be good. And Dave already created it. So, you know, use that as a room to help each other out. But definitely appreciate you guys. We don't take anybody for granted. We'll start creating more things as we start developing as a team. We got a lot of things in the pipeline that I think would be good. For example, we have asked a lot of you guys to get your TWIC cards because we have some opportunities coming up in the future. Dave will let you know. We don't like to dangle any carrot. We want to make sure we got everything locked in, T's crossed, I's dotted before we speak on things. But we want to make sure that you guys are prepped. So when the opportunity presents itself, we're not like limited in, executing and jumping on it. So that's why we tell you guys, hey, get your TWIC card and we'll get you set up. And it's good to have it, right? It's your endorsement for yourself. It builds your resume, builds your, what value you bring to the table. So we definitely appreciate you guys and we'll keep you guys updated. Again, Dave will let you know.
All right. Are there any other comments? Oh, that's Joy saying thanks. All right. Any other questions? We didn't see anything come in, so I think that you either did a really good job or you guys are shy. So I don't know. But we're just so glad that you guys are on our team. Spencer was once a dream.
Oh, we have a dispatcher. You haven't introduced the dispatchers. Like Leon.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we do have a dispatch team that are in there. I didn't think to get them on video today, so next time we'll have them on video. But, go walk in the office, shake their hand, introduce yourself. But you have Leon that supports. You also have Javier. You have Shy. And you also have Diaz. And I'm missing somebody.
Dennis.
And Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis is that night crew. He sees us through the evening. So if you need somebody to keep you up, he might be a good person to call if he likes to talk on the phone. I don't know, Dennis, if you do, but I'm putting you out there for that. If you get sleepy, call Dennis. He can stay up and keep you company. But yeah, we're just so glad that you guys are on our team. And if you guys need anything, again, People Ops, HR, Kenyana is your person. Anything on the road for like operations, if you can think of any improvements, even for operations, that's Dave. And then while you're on the road, if you have an emergency or anything, of course, call our dispatchers that I just mentioned. Go in the office, come in, speak to us, say hello. And yeah, we love to get to know you guys more.
And watch out for them geese.
Joko.
No, it's serious. Them geese is serious.
They came for him.
I'm sure.
You know what's funny though?
Watch out for them geese.
Jovan likes playing with the geese.
Oh, for real?
He's brave.
Wow.
He walk up on him like he don't care. It is the funniest thing. I witnessed it with my own eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Watch out for the geese. They will attack. They got babies on the front and in the back. So just be mindful of the geese.
Yes.
Oh,
one thing
geese are not workman's comp claim, just for the record.
I do want to just mention we did move offices. So many of you came to Suite 200 before. So when you came up the steps, you went to the right. We are now in Suite 260. So when you come up the steps, go to the left. We're the last door on the left. So many of you who have not been to the newer office may go to the wrong office. So we're at 260, Suite 260 now. So I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. And speak to the maybe about the parking situation, like being a little bit tight. Can you talk?
Definitely park tighter, like against in the back there. We don't want to impede the flow of traffic back there. So definitely park tighter. Exactly how you guys did it this weekend is perfect. I did see everyone tight, park super tight. So thank you for that. But in general, though, we want to make sure you're not sticking out too far. And then if ever you're in a situation where you can't park because someone's sticking out too far, just call dispatch. And if we do have someone that can move the truck, they'll move it. If not, then we'll give you the code. You can just move it. But if everyone parks tighter, then we should be good. We've had 5 trucks with trailers, and then the 2 trucks bobtailed back there at once. So I know we can all fit.
Yeah, and remember, and Kiana's going to integrate this in the message. Fill out the survey. We need to. If you don't tell us, we don't know. I remember when we thought about doing the Teams thing, and you guys all got on the phone. You called us and said that is not a good idea. We listened to you. So if you give us a feedback, we will be able to know how you feel. We'll be able to know where we need to improve. And we do, if you talk to us, we do our best to listen and respond.
Yeah, ask Paul. Paul is very good at saying, no, we shouldn't do this. Yes, we should. And, you know, if it makes sense for the business, we'll listen. So Paul's a testament to that.
Yeah, we appreciate Paul. Paul has touched each and every person in this company. And he is like, he's like family to us. We really care about Paul. Paul helped us start everything. So always a big thank you to Paul for helping us start this team.
Absolutely.
And keeping it going too.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, let me just check the comments one more time if it's anything else came up. Oh, if you haven't, I did not post that.
It's your name.
So Dave has control of my words right now.
It's your name.
I did not post anything.
That's a question.
It wasn't a question. He's posted on under my name, and I can't stop it because I don't have the director control. So anything that's being posted under Cass right now is not Cass. So.
I don't know. Says your name.
That is messy. All right. So we'll let you guys go. We'll paste the recording as soon. It takes a couple minutes for it to generate a link. So we'll post that link here shortly. Probably after we have one more town hall to do. And we'll post it after that town hall. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great night.